Hey guys, what's good? Mike here. Thanks for tuning in to another video. I'm going to record while I drive and watch the road. Hopefully you enjoy the topic. You see the title of the video. I want to talk about school, college, and the fact that you don't need a college degree to land a job as a product UI UX designer. Now this also applies to a lot of other jobs. I'm speaking to my community. I'm speaking to my profession. Obviously you need to go to school. My best friend is a macrofacial surgeon. It's one of the highest paying jobs in the world. He basically reconstruct jaws and things like that. And yeah, he went to school for 14 years. Obviously I'm not talking about those professions. You want to be an attorney, you have to go to school. You want to be a doctor or whatever, a veterinarian, you got to go to school. But for what I do, product UI UX design, which is a very in-demand profession, highly sought after. On average, you can Google it. Average UX designer makes around $90,000 or something like that. Obviously, you don't start there. Everyone starts at either $35,000, $45,000, and you work your way up. And you kind of cap out around, I believe, $150,000. So it's and you look around, it's a high in-demand position. Companies are always looking for top product designers, UI UX designers, and a lot of UX designers are always looking for jobs. So that's actually for another conversation. There's a disconnect, which I'll talk about in probably another video on why that is. But why is this topic something that interests me? It's because well, obviously a lot of you who follow me, you know my stance on this. I come from a line of self-taught designers. I didn't go to school. I went to school for a couple years, left school, and worked my way up, landed a job, and worked my way up from there. I want to talk about, give you some practical advice on how to navigate around the obstacles and the objections you get when this conversation comes about, because there's a lot of you who are still indecisive, not sure. You may be in a situation like myself where you want to know if there's a different alternative. Can I get a job, like, you know, can I get a nice job at a corporation, even though I don't have a degree like those guys, you know? And so I want to touch on that, and we'll give you some practical, no BS advice. Also, I'm also tired of like people not asking questions and just falling in line. I hate to say it, but a lot of us are sheep. People are sheep. They just do things because it's been put before you, and you don't ask the question, why are we doing it this way? It's like my daughter, I'm gonna rant a little bit. My daughter was doing some multiplications. I guess this week she's on her sixes. 6 times 9 and how to calculate 6 times 9. I'm like, goodness gracious, people. I get it. The fundamentals of school, reading, comprehension, and all this stuff, but there's never going to be a point in my life where I have to calculate 6 times 9 on my hand or know the multiplication chart. We have phones. Sooner or later we're gonna have chips in our brains or something. Like, I have a calculator on my phone. I never have to multiply or figure out how to multiply 126 times 17. You take out your phone and you Google it. But they still teach our kids these things, these patterns. Why? Because that's how it was taught 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And so school is the same way. And so the point here is school is not needed. What is needed in every aspect of life to be successful is skill and experience. Or to land a job at a profession is skill and experience. And in the topic of UI UX design, visual UI design is something you need as a product designer. That's something that skill can be learned through practice, repetition, week in, week out, month in, month out. That's something that you can learn. UX design is understanding the methods and principles of designing a product. The entire process that can be learned through reading articles, reading books, learning and understanding the process and implementing it, and basically just common sense. UX design is common sense. So combining good strong visual UI design skills with common sense, you can become a rock star product designer and be in high demand in all these different companies. How do you get there? Well, basically you start from somewhere and you build those skills up and you keep working your way up. It takes about a couple years, in my opinion, for somebody who is new and you never had this knowledge or whatnot. If you work on it every single night, I think in a couple years you could become very good, to the point where you could build up a portfolio of really good projects and land a contract job somewhere. For those of you who are coming from a different background, graphic design, whatnot, the learning curve is shorter because you already had some skills in these design tools. So in 6 months, you can become very proficient. In a year, you can become very proficient in this and have built up a couple of projects to a point where you can start applying for contract positions. So how do you navigate? You start at a level, maybe a contract positions. Companies are willing to take on the risk of maybe giving you a contract role for 3 months, and then you bust your butt, you knock the socks off, right? And we're to the point to where they're like, wow, that person's really good, and you work really hard and they want to offer you a full-time position. That's how you navigate through that. So now here's some of the objections. Mike, school is great. Yeah, school is great if that's what you want, and I'm against school in that situation. I like the idea of teaching skill and building up experience and really teaching you the essentials of the core of what you want to do in your profession. So that's my thing. And you hear some objections, Mike, but school is not necessarily bad. I mean, on average, those who go to college or graduate from college yield a 15% increase in lifetime income or whatever. It's because those people are actually motivated to begin with. You remove school from the equation, those same people actually wanted a better life for themselves versus those who just want to sit on the couch. So you remove school from the equation, those same exact people will yield the same increase in lifetime income versus somebody who didn't go to school or is not that motivated. It's not school. You remove school from the equation, it's not school. It's whether you have a desire to be successful at something or not. So if you take my advice, if you're struggling deciding whether or not school is the right thing for you and this and that, know that I'm a strong believer that you can navigate. And you should navigate. You don't have to get in debt. You don't have to be stuck paying off, a student loan for the next 50 years. You can navigate just by having the desire, having low-cost training that you can find online in workshops, and landing a job and having a great career. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk soon. I gotta go in here and grab this thing. We'll talk.